There we go. Now we got it. Okay, sweet. All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the pre-market stream that we open up to the public every single Thursday. Thanks for joining us this morning. Give you guys a little bit of a breakdown what's going to happen. Once I'm done speaking, this is Spartan speaking, by the way, that's going to come on, give you a breakdown of the macro environment, any news events that happened over the course of this evening or that we should be aware of for today. Go through any of the bigger picture items, commodities, ETFs, bigger caps, et cetera, that makes sense to be looking at. As well. After that's done, I'm going to be going through the individual names that are gapping up, gapping down. We're going to be talking about those individual names in regards to the technicals, what makes sense, building an action plan for them out the gate, as well as going through the SPY, the Fang, the Qs, the IWM, and the VIX. Once that's done, South Beach will pop on while I'm typing that pre-market action plan up. We'll be going through the macros, the analyst calls he likes for today, as well as individual names. And then we'll do a quick little recap of those individual names that we talked about, and we'll be ready to go from there. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Beth, and I will talk to you guys shortly. Beth, if you're ready, it's all yours.
I am indeed, sir. Thank you so much. Hey, guys. Yeah, I mean, look, the narrative hasn't changed, except we're having kick-ass fun, right, on these monkeypox names, right? So let's take a peek here, what's going on overnight. The sky did not fall. Okay. Let's take a look at yesterday. China had some interesting data out in terms of its cakes and PMI. It was really like kick ass. Okay. So it's as expected, but it confirms that things are doing better there, I guess. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, these Fed heads should not be allowed to talk the way they do. I mean, they're basically flooding the news right now. And we've talked about this ad nauseum. We really have. And it just reaffirms, my conviction that they should be shutting up. Okay? We don't need to hear from them. We really don't. There should be only one voice, and that's Powell's voice. So basically, yesterday kind of walked back what Powell was saying, being a little more hawkish, yada, 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 whatever. The market's holding up fine. Spartan is going to go into detail about that. It's bullish consolidation on the daily, which is all I need to hear. And we'll see what happens, right? Final PMI, a little bit better than expected out of Germany. European retail sales, worse than expected, which should not be a surprise. PPI month over month in the European area was better than expected, not by a lot. Mortgages still coming down nicely. We'll see how that ISM manufacturing PMI will be coming out at 10 o'clock. And these are global services and composite at 9:45. Okay. We do have this morning in terms of the EIA, the gas. So see how that plays out as well. I mean, OPEC plus, let's be honest here. If this is what I kind of chuckle all the time about that. If you think they will do the moral and ethical, responsible thing to do, they won't. It's just not how it works in commodities, friends. It's greed. Commodity equals greed, okay? They will basically push this as long as they can, elasticity as long as they can until it snaps. And in this commodity super cycle, that's 5 to 10 years. Guess what? We're almost approaching year 3. Okay, so I think it's fun. And I told you yesterday that I thought that we could go higher on the XLE up to the mid 50s again. We'll see how that plays out. I did add to my gush this morning simply because OPEC plus. What do we got? Okay, so I have a pretty good sized position on PayPal and an Elliott $2 billion position. I apologize because I did do a butterfly and I neglected to post it for you guys, so that's on me. it was 95, 100, 105. And I do apologize on that. I know it doesn't do you any good now. CDS, how about that? Okay. Generac, you know, this is a conviction long-term trade for me. I'm in this on a swing portfolio, 2024 leaps, a spread, call spread. We'll see. So look, things are looking, every day things look better, right? The earnings are looking better. Guidance is looking better. You know, either you make, if you can't make money, then you're going to get kicked to the curb. It's that simple. Right? Let's take a look here into who's reported already. I mean, look, I mean, the vast majority is green. There were a couple downgrade, low-end guidance, VRT, CRA, but I mean, it's the ones that raise guidance at CVS, right? This should be $105, $110. I did buy, I added more to my, I have it in one IRA, but I added it to my other IRA. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Okay. Let's see if anything's going on with our boots on the ground. The news. Minutes after White House speaker landed in Taiwan, defense officials announced that they were ramping. Whatever. I mean, come on. Whatever. Whatever. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, if you're not going to do anything, you know, instead of exercises, whatever. Right? Here's ISM manufacturing PMI. Actually, this is not the right one. Nope. Sorry about that. Okay. This is crazy, guys. This is Germany in power and France, their power situation. The price per megawatt hour. Seriously, guys. You know, we bitch and moan and all that shit. Okay, but the reality is Europe is suffering because of Russia. And I will continue to advocate, okay, more aggressive approach towards Russia. I'm talking about letting Ukraine go in there, okay, and start blowing up some of their shit. See how they like it. And everybody's went, oh, boo-hoo. They're going to do the nuclear. They're not going to do nuclear. Whatever. Okay. This is purchases. Billions. They're buying as much as they can. Right? I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see what happens here. This is from Lizanne is back from her summer holiday in Ireland. Welcome back, Lizanne. Was it Scotland? It's a big difference, I know, but anyways. So this is the percentage of the S&P, Nasdaq, and Russell above their 200-day moving average. So you see it's starting to creep up there. But, you know, the only way the first indication that this is the low, or potentially the low, is if we break this down trend line, right? That's what it looks like. All right, here we go. Senate plan would put, okay. Yeah. Wow, these guys are so smart, aren't they? You know, I am just, it's funny. Anyways, it's just laughable sometimes, our government. British Air. Now this is serious business. Halts ticket sales on domestic European Heathrow routes. Wow. Recession risks are mounting. Here's why businesses are still hiring. That's what Wall Street, what this guy is. Yeah, but he doesn't care. He's wealthy. He's a billionaire, whatever. Anyways, it's all his investors. Okay, here we go. Beneficial signal, additional rate rises, warranted to slow economy. Here we go. And this is Evans talking. Fed has more work to do. Here we go. This is Mester. Where's Bullet? I don't know if I have Bullet. A Bullet was on, I think, what was it? On the week. Anyways. Demand for workers fell in June to lowest level in 9 months. This is to be expected. Less corporate profits, economic outlook surprisingly up. You got that right. Well, here we go. Can slow inflation without sparking recession. Good luck with that, dude. Doesn't he look a little bit grumpy? That was yesterday. He looks grumpy. It's Chinese China warns of disastrous consequences. Look, if you're going to say something like that, you look stupid if you don't do something. I'm just saying. I don't know if they will. Look, I'm just saying that, you know, if you basically throw down a gauntlet and you're not willing to act upon it, I mean, whatever. China July services, best in 15 months. Automakers. Look, Cinema and Manchin are the two most powerful senators right now. Okay. Cinema is now starting to get a little jiggy going on in terms of this whole climate change bill, right? So be careful, because if nobody knows what she's going to do, okay? So that could obviously, and you should put on some sort of hedge or protection on the clean energy names, okay? Whether that's, you know, solar, how EVs, how you want to play it, okay? Just saying. We'll see. Chip crunch eases for phones and PCs, but not for cars. Okay, cool. That's good. Right. Chip stocks slip in as Taiwan tensions mount. We know this, right? With Taiwan Summit at all. What about AMD, guys? Just they lowered prices. A couple analysts. I don't know. That was kind of like, what? I have some NVIDIA puts as a hedge against my AMD, but what? And AVGO is up, so, you know, whatever. PayPal shares jump on Elliott's 2 billion stake, and I told you we have this in I posted it for you weeks ago. Weeks ago, PayPal was in my IRA. I got tons of calls on this stupid thing. Okay. 2 billion stake. I guess he's not mucking around with this, huh? Well, let's see. BP boosts dividend after profit. It's 14-year high. This is why I'm saying you cannot be short. You cannot be short these names only as a short-term scalp intraday. Okay, these names are going higher because the stuff is not priced in. All right. What do we got? Moderna gains on earnings. Starbucks jumps. Yeah, SoFi pops. While AMD slips. Going to be tough. Get inflation. There's no way. There's no way you're going to do that, Bull. And I'll tell you why. Why? Everybody who's been listening to me opine for months and months and months. Fed funds needs to be at 5.5%. That's the facts, Jack. Okay? I don't know. NLM soars 48% on phase 2 trial ATDR amyloidosis therapy meets that. This is a big deal, guys, this amyloidosis. So that's interesting. I haven't done anything with it though. Whatever. Whatever. I mean, come on, whatever. All right, so I said to you, I thought that we were going to get back to everything slipped yesterday. We got a lot good reset on the heat map. I still think this gets back to the mid-50s, guys, gals, funds, actually. I don't think we're going to slip back down. If we do, maybe low 30s, not into the 20s, probably mid-30s at best. But I really think that we go back into the 50s. That's my story, sticking to it. So let's see what happened in terms of insider buying. This MAIA, multiple buys, $1.3 million. KDB, Keurig, Dr. Pepper, somebody keeps buying, you know, that's in my swing, right? ALDX is getting some insider buys as well. TELA. Let's see who's selling. The penny stocks, FIP, Lab, whatever else. All right, so insider sales. Chevron was tied to options, so it doesn't really matter. Tesla as well in LPLA. Okay. Wouldn't it have been nice just to be a director? She owns 1,800 shares. Think about that. Maybe they split it again. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so I'm getting some really nice flows in Tesla for the week. Right? I'm only focusing on the week right now because I think it really tells us. So Apple was more, there's headwinds right now for Apple. Okay. We'll keep an eye on it. I still think, to be honest with you, in order for this market to break out, we have to have Fang participate. Okay, not just, well, Tesla should be part of Fang. But anyways, you get the idea. Right? NVIDIA, there was some nice call buying. Oops. Amazon has some nice call. I still think Amazon goes higher. It is Wednesday though, so I have to, we have to do closer to in the money stuff. And, for me, when it comes to Wednesday, I actually start, and this is a trick, I actually start doing out of the money next week calls. That's what I start doing. It's just cheaper. You don't have to be, you don't have to stick the landing that way, and it gives you time. Right? SPX, yada, 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 Apple, here we go, Q's, Ford. I still like this Ford, guys. I did add some more to it. I had another rung up on that ladder. Let's see what happens with that. I think it's going to be okay. Okay. It's a nice little pop overnight on that. We'll see if it can continue. I think Ford could be really a sleeper for this week on the lotto side. All right, AMTD, no duh, 6. AMD 5. CF Industries 5. PayPal 5. No Tesla. What do we got? All right, downgrades, top dogs here. SMTC. I saw some SMTC put buying yesterday, FYI. Caterpillar downgrade and SWIR, CO Wireless. These are all top dogs. This is what I love, that how they're improving this. I actually probably will get rid of tip ranks now because of what they're doing. I don't know. We'll see. But if you look in terms of tip ranks, peeps, the way I have it set, nothing. But you can see here, Uber, 77% from Needham. It's a new dude, so no rankings, right? Here's Cogenix, Needham. This is a top dog. Anything 4 or 5 is pretty damn good, right? I mean, then on the sell side, LYSCF, ITW, and all right, so what do we got? All right, so we have an overbought situation. But don't forget, overbought, this is 14 days, is actually bullish. This goes back to 1934, okay? So this is momentum continuation, right? This goes back to 1934, okay? So 73, I mean, look, these are numbers you cannot scoff at, okay? Because it includes, now, it includes massive declines that we saw like in 70s, whatever. So here's 77, that was a big one, but this is really bullish, like 1938, okay? And if you look at 1934, 1937, 1938, it's the opposite, right? In the 1930s, et cetera, right? What got us out of this? And I continue to tell you, okay, what got us out of this was manufacturing. Look at your history. The only way manufacturing is going to grow is if Congress gets off their ass, spend the money, they will get it back. Okay, incentivize more manufacturing domestically in the US. That would be a home run. That would allow, basically, I think, the necessary propulsion forward in this market. Okay. There you go. From nay to yay, right? Everyone's breath is now really looking good, right? Wasn't mean going back to 1950. Look at this, guys. 84% 6 months out. 88% 1 year out. This is no joke. Okay, no joke. All right, let's quickly go to the bonds here. All right. Yield curve, guess what? Steepening. Like I say, these guys, all right, think of it this way. All of those who are playing on the inversion side, it's like a large, massive cruise line tanker in a little bitty pond, okay? For them to unwind these trades takes time. Guess what? They're losing money, big time, okay? They are not the smartest guys in the room. Sorry. They, once upon a time, the reason being is these guys are young pups. puppets. I mean, the youth of today is running this trading. Anyways, here's the 5-year doing nothing right there, right? Let's take a look at our 2-5. All right, so we're at a key pivot point here. I mean, this is serious business here. Okay, so this is a 2-5, right? I cannot imagine if we do break down here on the extension, it would be down to here, okay? That would be rarefied stuff. It's possible though. The paradigm is, right, 8 months before recession. So if we are going to go into a recession, more than likely, it will be in the beginning of 2023. Okay, so see how that plays out right now. All right, here's 5-10. This is consolidation. I'm not sure where the hell we're going on this one. Right. And here's the 5-30. And actually that has been steepening, not inverting. All right. Once again, the Fed on the balance sheet can exert some will, okay, in terms of the curve. They are more than likely selling the longer end and keeping the shorter end, okay? So that forces people who are in the inversion spread, okay, to cover, right? They overstayed their welcome on that. What's the rules? You want to buy when nobody wants to buy, and you want to sell when nobody wants to sell. Same narrative as commodity trading. Here's a 10-year doing its thing. I think we're kind of in I can't imagine we actually go anywhere right now. I think we're going to be in this for a few months, right? Who knows how long, right? Here's the Chinese government bonds, 10-year. Oh, look, yields are coming down, as I said they would. How about that? It's a shit show there, guys. Here's the German rates. All right, so this is really fascinating. So they got into this pivot breakout here, okay? This is an important pivot point, and it is bouncing. So this pivot should hold, so we should start to see rates going high. All right, let's see the dollar. It did pop yesterday. It feels to me like it's going to go higher. We're back inside the Bollinger, and I think we're going to ride higher on that. I don't think the sale is there. That's, you know what that means for the market. Not a good thing, right? And here's the Chinese yuan. Guess what? Continues to weaken. All right, here's cryptos. Commodities. Gold is down slightly, right? Copper's up, platinum, palladium down, crude, natty gas. This is interesting. I actually think crude and natty gas was, as we get closer to the winter time, I think both of them can rally at the same time, FYI. Heating oil going up, okay, gasoline, you know the drill here, copper, wheat, yada, yada, yada. Okay, oats. This is what it looks like, guys. A commodity super cycle has breath to it. So there's constant ebbs and flows. Selling one, going another one. This is what it looks like. The overall totality of it, okay, is all things go up, right? Robustly. That's what it means by definition. All right, here's DBC. Let's take a look at this. It's still holding this pivot that we saw here. I don't think we're going to go much with this, friends. Okay, this is the commodity thing. We have to be patient. I think in the fall, we'll start to get a more robust. All right, watch natty gas here, please, because we did hold this weekly extension. Okay, so that's the pivot now. I'm going to probably, I'm scalping a little bit, and I'm going to use this right now, this week's low, right, as my stop, just so you know. Here's crude. I posted, I did add to my gush. Here's why. The 23.6, as long as this 23.6% holds on the monthly, okay, I'm long. Okay. And I bought it off that low, so I have some breathing room. I did add a little bit, but don't forget when you do these ads, you gotta do small size so it doesn't really warp your average, right? Here's gold crude. Okay, we want to see this crack, right? So that would be the first indication, right? That gold is going to make the crude is going to make the next leg up. Gold in and of itself is consolidative, nothing going on here, right? All right, let's take a look at the markets. Okay. So for the most part, up across the board, VIX is down, right? And of course, China, not a good look. The 8 years are up, 50-50. I love India. I got to do something with India one of these days. Here's the DAX. I want to see Europe rally. That's what I want to see. All right. So the DAX is actually holding this pivot box. This is the low right here on the monthly. And it's also holding this 50 EMA on the monthly. I want to see it actually revert back to the mean, which is up here, 14,323. For those of you who are so inclined to follow fast, I want the same thing. I want the fast to rally. This is really, this obviously was gutted a lot more than the others. I want to see that start to rally. I want to see EFA. We've talked about this before. I want to see this one start to rally. It did get pinned below. Okay. And believe it or not, I mean, it did get pinned below. This is the 100 EMA on the monthly. I want to see that reclaim. I want to see it revert back to the mean. If this market's going to be a sustainable rally, right? That's what I want to see. There's FXI. Monthly. Broke this, now below it. I'm still in K-Web puts, guys. I can't do anything about that. Okay, I don't want to do that. Here's that K-Web. You can see that right here. It actually looks better, okay, than and barely hanging on. So the FXI is the weaker of the two. All right. This is the one, this is the money shot right here. This is a QQQC. We talk about this all the time. I mean, this is fantastic. I told you there was a double bottom there. What did I say? You buy the Qs, you sell the CQQQ. Guess what? I did. Okay. This is a no-brainer, guys. This is why I go over these puts. This is where you get the best bang for your buck. Let's take a look at Bobalicious quickly before we go to the healthcare side. I want to take a look at this. We do have a double bottom on the weekly right now sitting there. Okay, so that's notable. Plus, what's also really notable about Bobalicious, okay, is that it is making higher lows. So that's positive, right? So let's see what's going on with our VIX. This is the Nasdaq, okay? The ideal narrative on the weekly is that it's bear flagging. I don't know if we can actually break below this pivot right here, guys. Gals fine. But if we do, that would be incredibly meaningful, right? Let's take a look at Fang. Once again, Fang has failed to pop this top, okay? Once we do, we got a nice little push coming our way. If this has to happen, as far as I'm concerned, for a sustainable rally in the market. All right, let's take a look a little bit at the XLP right now. So the staples, okay? So basically it failed to break out on the monthly, right? Notable. We have to break out on this one, okay? In order for us to get that next hot. I think we do, but you have to be patient. All right, here's P&G. So we're going to do staples and we're going to do healthcare. All right, so P&G, this is kind of interesting right now. It is holding, you can see here, this like triple bottom here, double bottom here. It's unable to reclaim the 23.6. It's pinned right now, and this is a reversion to the mean. This is a big deal. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, here's Costco.
All right, Beth, ready to pop on whenever here.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty, guys, morning. Let's take a look at what we got going on today. So let's just pop up the screen share here. Alrighty, so if you guys are new to the chat and you haven't already done so, make sure to click that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're going to come into Discord. It's going to look like this. First area to go to, guys, when you do come in is that new to chat information section. Click on it, go through it, read it from top to bottom. We'll go through it at the end once we do close down this YouTube stream. But just in the meantime, have a look, of course. Anyways, so that's that. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today, guys? A couple different things. Tesla, ALNY, PayPal, mRNA, CVS, APDN, which our 5 calls are in the money on APDN, which is sweet, guys. They're going to be up probably 500-600%. Actually, probably more. Tesla, Elon Musk updates timeline for successful Starship orbital launch, gapping up on that. ALNY, positive results for top 3 phase 3 study, gapping up. PayPal, earnings beat, EPS and revs, year-over-year growth 9.1%. Q3 guidance slightly lower, 2022 guidance raised, gapping up on that. mRNA, earnings beat, EPS and revs, year-over-year growth 9.1%, gapping up. CVS, earnings beat, EPS and revs, year-over-year growth 11%, 2022 guidance raised, stocks gapping up on that. And APDN gapping up on continued momentum from last day's move. And again, we're going to be up nicely on those calls. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on from a technical standpoint intraday on these names. So the first two we're going to be looking at today, guys, are Tesla and ALNY. So let's have a look at that. I'm actually just going to pop one thing up here on the side and we are good to go. Perfect. All righty. So first two we're looking at today, guys, Tesla and ALNY. Let's have a look. So Tesla gapping up. 9/11/58 pivot to the upside today. Let's just kind of zoom out again. Okay, we still got our levels. We're all good. So 9/11/58 pivot on Tesla to the upside. You can see the bullish flag here that's formed. It looks, great for continuation. I think got $1,000 magnet on it this week. But 9/11/58 pivot level holds 9/26/90 will be tested. That level breaks 9/35/02. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 9/02/57 to 8/97/16 on the downside. Overall, Tesla going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point does hold. Let's take a look at this ALNY. So we're at 223 a share. So we get some old levels down here for some supports. Let's label that pivot. Oops. Let's go intraday to take a look. So I can just label the levels there. Go easy enough. Perfect. Okay. So pivot to the upside today is going to be 212.01. That level holds. You got room towards this 224. 60 level. That level breaks 238.22. Unable to hold 197.39 to 184.63 on the downside on ALNY. Going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation squeeze to the upside today. It does look like we're going to get continuation here out the gate. I think it will continue to move. So that's Tesla. That is ALNY. Now let's take a look at the next two guys, which we are going to be PayPal and mRNA. I'm just going to take a screenshot, save this. There we go. All saved. Now let's take a look. PayPal, mRNA. Beauty. There we go. That should suffice for PayPal. Let's take a look. All right, gonna look at the one that's above that one, 167, 104.82, 107.98. Okay. So pivot to the upside today, 101.67. That level breaks. We got room towards 104.82. That level breaks. We got room for continuation towards 107.98. Unable to hold 99.10 to 96.74 on the downside will be tested. I'm actually going to leave it on the daily. Overall, going to be leaning bullish neutral on PayPal, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Let's take a look at this mRNA. It's gapping up 167.80. Nice flag on the daily. You can see, obviously room for continuation there. Let's get last day's high labeled. Let's take a look at this thing intraday here. mRNA pivot to the upside today is going to be 165.86. Level holds 169.10. If that level breaks, we can see further continuation towards 172.55, 176.55. Unable to hold. So do like that so you can see it. Look for a pullback towards 160.76 to 155.96 on the downside. Overall on the mRNA, going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Nice flag break to the upside setup, and it's got room for continuation essentially. So that's PayPal. That is mRNA. All right, let's take a look at the next two guys. Next two names will be CVS, APDN. Really nice move on those CVS earnings. Beauty, actually. All right, 98.40 pivots to the upside today. That level holds. 99.51 will be tested. That level breaks. 122. Unable to hold, we look for pullback on CVS to the 98.40 to 90, sorry, to 97.67 to 96.36 on the downside. Overall on CVS, leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today as well. It's a nice looking chart. I think we can get that continued move higher. Let's take a look at APDN. Let me zoom out. There we go. Thank you. All right, pivot to the upside today, $5. This level holds 562 to 636 will be tested. Unable to hold 434 to 387 on APDN on the downside. Overall, on APDN, going to be leaning bullish. Looking for continuation to the upside today. These small caps have been fantastic. We've been hitting 100% trades all left, right, and center. So I think we can see continuation on this one as well. I think probably in the afternoon, you see a pullback after this morning's move. And we kind of go from there. If you guys got the 5 calls on overnight, I'd be selling some out the gate. And kind of just go from there, as well as obviously taking off some equity, 3/4, etc., into that morning push. All right, so that is that. Let's take a look at the Fang names here and the VIX Qs IWM as we do. Perfect. Just loading up this on the side. We are good to go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Let's take a look at the spine of the Fang. So what do we got going on the market? I think we might have another range bound day, guys. We have obviously a flag that's formed on the daily. I'm being unable to break it just yet. We're sitting in the middle of that range for the week. Pivot to the upside today is going to be that 410. I can't see the level because this stupid price right now is in front of it. 410.70 is going to be the pivot to the upside today. That level holds. We got room towards 412.30. If that level breaks, 413.46 will be tested. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards the, let me get one more level down here, because that's the bottom end of the range now. Move this one up. We got room back towards 408.02. That level breaks, 406.82 will be tested on the downside. Overall in the market, going to be leaning mainly on the bullish neutral side today. I think it's going to be an inside day. We're probably going to push this morning to the top of the recent range high. I don't think we're going to break through it today. I think that's just what the price action is going to, kind of what shows me right now, but that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And then we'll probably come in a little bit in the afternoon. If you do end up breaking out, we do have a lot of room to the upside for continuation, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So that's what I'm thinking for now. It is bullish consolidation on the SPY to the upside. We'll just have to wait and see if we can break out or not on the test. But I do think we can push out the gate. I'll be leaning bullish neutral for that move this morning at least. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Pivot to the upside today, 160.95 level holds, 162.52 to 163.93 will be tested. I'm actually going to pull that down right here. That's going to be actually 163.61. Unable to hold 160.95 to 159.55 on the downside. Overall on Apple, leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push higher if the pivot point's able to hold. Let's take a look at Netflix. Sorry, Amazon. Pivot to the upside today is going to be 137.19. Levels able to hold 138.81. Unable to hold 133.42 on the downside, leaning on the bullish neutral side as well. It's Amazon. Let's take a look at Netflix. Pivot is going to be the 223.17 level holds, 226.54 to 228.49 will be tested. Unable to hold 219.63 on the downside. Overall on Netflix, leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Let's take a look at Facebook. Sorry, Meta. Meta pivot 160.29 level holds, 165.18 will be tested. Unable to hold 157.39 to 154.85 on the downside. Overall on Meta, can be leaning on the bullish neutral side today. Looking for a continuation push higher. It is coming off the lows at the moment. Got to get back above EMA support, and then you got some nice room for continuation. Nice. Next resistance will be 170.84. So it's got some room. Well, I kind of like that actually quite a bit. Okay, let's take a Google. Could I take a screenshot of that? No, I didn't. Let's take a look at Google. Pivot 114.91 level holds 116.93, unable to hold 113.89 to 112.96 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at phase. Oh, no, sorry. The VIX Q's IWM. VIX. Pivot 23.44 level holds 24 to 24.55, unable to hold 22.40 on the downside, not leaning any particular direction, but I do believe the VIX is still above EMA support on the daily. Let's have a look. Yep, it's testing it right now. It's actually right on it. So we'll see what happens. Watch the 23.44 pivot. It's gonna be an important level today. QQQs, 315.24 pivot level holds 318.79, unable to hold 312.48. Looking at the Q daily chart, you can see obviously it's flagging to the upside as well. I like the daily chart quite a bit. It looks like it's got some nice room for continuation higher. It's above that recent range high breakout. It's above all EMA support. It's showing me quite some bullish setups here. And then QQQs, so last but not least, IWM 188.28 pivot. This level is able to hold. You got room back towards 189. That level breaks. You got room for continuation towards 191.01. Unable to hold on IWM. We look for a pullback towards the 180, 560 level on the downside to 184.24. And leaning bullish on IWM. I think small caps look fantastic right now. They're probably the best looking of the indices at the moment. So notable. All right, so that's a SPY, that's a Fang. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today, guys. Going to go ahead and pass it over to South Beach while I type up that pre-market action plan, and then we'll go from there. South Beach, if you're ready, it's all yours.
All right, hey guys. I'm looking at the chart of the S&Ps right now, and it's clearly a bullish setup in my opinion. But you look at that resistance where Tepper said they would go to 4,200. I think that's really a very key level. Man, that guy is freaking good, isn't he? So I'm thinking, it goes up to 4,200, like he said, and we'll see what happens from there. But damn, he looks right. And the setup is just, listen, the market changes. You got to change. I was bearish, and I got bullish, a couple of weeks ago. And maybe I'll get bearish again. But you got to be flexible in this business, guys. You can't just say, I think this end, if something changes, you gotta really go with it. Okay. You can't sit here like an idiot and say, oh my God, that's how guys go out of business. All right. And I've seen it a gazillion times. All right. Guys say one thing, they live with it, they make a right decision, and it turns into a freaking disaster. All right. Anyway, let's get back to what we always do every morning. 10 years up a little bit, 280. It was up a bunch yesterday. What did it get down to, like 253 or something like that? Maybe a little less even. Yeah, I think 253 looks about right. And, these Fed governors are coming on basically talking the bond up a little bit, and so the bond is reacting. All right. As far as that 10-year spread that we have is 32. So that's about as high as we've seen as far as the inversion is concerned. Okay. So the 2-year is even trading above the 30-year pretty, robustly, right? 8 ticks above that. So, the bond market is speaking volumes. They basically are saying, if they're not saying recession, they're saying little to no growth, right? That's for sure. All right, let's look at rates over in Europe. We have London up a little bit. These things got smacked a bunch like ours, and they're a small bounce this morning. So that's up 0.058, excuse me. Yeah, 0.58. 10-year in Germany's up about 10 clicks to 87, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we got bond markets trading a little bit higher this morning. All right, but listen, guys, these levels are super low, and the equity market doesn't give a damn, right? I mean, rates haven't gone through the roof. The value of stocks based on lower rates is higher, and we were oversold, and we're bouncing hard. Maybe this is going to hold. I kind of think it does. I think that what I've been saying to you guys is I don't think that 30, those, low numbers for S&P targets of 31, 32, 34, I think those are off the table, and we'll see what happens from here. All right. As far as commodities are concerned, we have oil up almost $2. 96. We had OPEC meeting. What do they want to lift output by 400,000 barrels, something to that effect. I don't think that's very significant. So oil's bouncing accordingly. So we got a little bounce in oil, but prices have come down at the pump quite a bit, and that's a positive, right? Natural gas is kind of meandering between 7 and 9. And what's it doing today? Up in nickel. So, if nothing else, we've kind of seen some price stability, which is good. CEOs always say, I don't care what the price is, just make it stable so we can deal with it. And I think that makes a lot of sense. All right. Gold, what I think of gold. Copper, nothing there. That's kind of had a big blow off top, and now it's trading in the 3 range, it seems. And as far as the agricultural commodities, they've come down, to levels that were pre-invasion. And I would imagine the supply chain is getting a little better and demand is waning a little bit. So that's what we have, they're all down. Like cotton, to give you an example, has gone from 155 to 95. Okay. Lumber has gone from went from 500 to 1500 and back to 500. So huge volatility. And now I think these levels are easily workable by, companies to, move their business forward. All right. As far as the dollar, it's down against North America, up against Japan, flat against China, flat against the euro, flat against the pound. And that'd be that. Crypto bouncing a little bit today, up 1% on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and Solana's down 3%. But these prices, I mean, it's going to take a little bit for people to warm up to crypto, I think. All right, so that's that. And let's look at the foreign markets. They were dead flat earlier today. So now FTSE's up 0.4, 29 points. DAX up the same, 54 points. Nikkei up 0.5%. China down 1%. Hong Kong up a little bit. Okay, so that's the backdrop. Banks and Fed. We have 5 of these knuckleheads speaking today. Plus Bullard thinks he's a movie star this morning, so he's staying on CNBC all morning. He couldn't come and give a spiel. I'm telling you, these guys, they really do think they're freaking movie stars. I don't like the way they handle the Fed for the last many years that these guys go speak, but that's the situation. So what's Bullard saying? He sees no recession yet. Okay, he thinks that rates go to 3 3/4 to 4, and they stay higher longer. Okay, to keep inflation down. That's basically the gist of his message. And the truth of the matter is, I think, it's all data dependent, guys. Let's call it what it is. All right. He doesn't freaking know, and neither do any of us. We'll see the data as it comes in, and they'll have to roll with the punches, just like we do with the S&Ps. Okay. And we'll see how it turns out. But it's annoying to get these guys speaking all the time. It really is. Maybe what's his name is onto something. Gunlack. Get rid of these knuckleheads and feed off the 2-year. I think that's probably your best bet. But that's just my opinion. All right. So anyway, that's it. That's the gist of what he said. Higher rates for longer. He thinks we'll have GDP growth next year. And then things will start to get a little better. Okay, so whatever. Just another guy with an opinion in mind, as far as I can see it. Okay, China. So what do we have? We have Pelosi in left Taiwan. We just had what's his name on, Kyle Bass, who's this big time Republican, human rights guy, all kinds of, he's got his opinions really hardcore against China, has been negative on China for a really long time. And he was applauding Pelosi's going over there and having the guts to stand up to China, no matter what rhetoric she was hearing, because of the human rights violations and whatnot, and the democracy in Taiwan, whether you agree with it or not. I don't know. I mean, I think the US should speak with one voice like the Fed should. I don't know. I just don't know. Everyone's entitled to their opinion here. Okay. And I don't think there's a right opinion or a wrong opinion. It's however you feel. All right. And Pelosi did just that. It's a swan song, clearly. She's, she's in the top of the ninth in her career. And I guess she just wanted to make a statement. And in November, she won't be the head of the Speaker of the House anymore. So this was her opportunity to take a stand, and she did it, for better or worse. Okay. You like her, you don't like her, that's up to you. Okay. So that's that. And we do have those military exercises over the weekend, and I have this little inclination in my head that it turns into a brawl, because they're surrounding the island, they're using live gunfire, and they said they would do something. We would pay for what we did or what have you. So that's I don't know what the odds of that are. I think it's a single digit number, but it's something that is in my head over the weekend. So I'm going to be very cautious on my long exposure over the weekend for that reason. Okay, I don't need it. And that's the story. So you should think about that as well. Okay. It looks like this Truss is going to be the Prime Minister of England. She's ahead by 35 points or something to that effect. What else do we have? What was interesting I saw today, guys? The Rhine River, it's basically two inches away from being unnavigable, which is effectively, it's like our Mississippi River having a problem. I don't know. I used to live right next door to the Mississippi River, like within spitting distance, and that river was freaking busy. And it would be a big problem. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, I mean, Europe's got enough problems. They certainly don't need this one. And I didn't even know, but it's basically, what did someone say? Dried up close? That's a very good analogy. 2 inches away from no more ships on the freaking river. And we'll see if things can improve, but that's significant. Hood is doing layoffs. The 24% of their business. They've lost 1/3 of their users since a year ago. Now, that doesn't mean 1/3 of their customers, but it means 1/3 of their order flow. So if they did 1 million orders a day, they're now doing 700,000 orders a day. Okay, so that's a big comeuppance. I think that they're like a third-rate front end, but I think if you have small accounts, it's probably okay. I don't know, but I've never been a fan of this company, nor the management, nor anything else having to do with it. But there is value because they have a ton of cash, et cetera, et cetera. BlackRock is saying a soft landing is a remote possibility. So these guys are basically calling for a recession, okay? And they have been. We'll see. I think the odds of a recession have gone down from a month ago for sure, okay? What else do we have? We have this Hong Kong HKD speaking, basically saying they don't understand why the stock's doing what it's doing. Shows it has no effect on the common. There was a software deal in Europe this morning in London. Avast got taken over or is in the process of it. It was up 46%. That's a big move on a takeover, guys. So there's value in a lot of equities, okay, even in Europe. Carl Bass, I told you about. Okay, so what else do we have? Russia, anything else in Russia? One thing that the ex-SEC chairman said, I forget his name off the top of my head, but regardless, he was saying that he thinks the odds of China's companies complying with the US accounting requirements by 2024 is a window that's kind of sort of fading. And if they don't get their, ass in gear, these stocks will all be delisted. So you see the movement of these guys doing dual listings with Hong Kong. And I guess they're waiting for the thumbs up from China before they let people look at their books. And based on rhetoric, and not only rhetoric, but actions by the Chinese government, I would say the odds of these companies delisting are 2 out of 3. So be careful. Okay. Crypto we discussed, oil market we talked about, OPEC, the virus, nothing really there. Monkeypox, I guess, is center stage now. I'm surprised that Moderna doesn't go after it. They probably will, but we'll see. The dollar we discussed, Mr. Market yesterday. Guys, the money's in these small cap names. That's where it is right now. So focus on that. You can narrow your focus to volume and price movement, and you don't have to watch this group rotation so carefully, which is what I generally do. I mean, I traded some group rotation yesterday, but for the most part, I was focused on these small cap stocks. All right. Movers down. So that's that. Okay. Let's see what else we got. As far as individual equities, let's look at the numbers, see which companies came in special. PayPal, special, good numbers. They have a $15 billion buyback. What's their market cap? Let's see. $103. So that's pretty significant. Okay. They got $2 billion position by Elliott, and the numbers were good. So clearly the horses left the barn. I'm probably going to do some kind of options trade in that today. And I'm making a note to myself to do that. I like these modified, I guess they would be modified butterflies using equity and put spreads and whatnot. All right, so that one I'm going to look at. AYX had good numbers. SoFi was pretty good. Everything I read on this company, they had some kind of student loan issue. And I think until that's resolved, the stock will be range bound. RNG was kind of surprising, good number there. The stock has been maybe the worst of the high PE tech names, basically. Stock has no lift, and the numbers came in decently. Evelyn Health was good. HLF was good. GXO, no surprise there. Unum. That's a big move for Unum, guys, a deuce. ANDE was good. DQ. CWH, guys were betting against that one. I couldn't even get a borrow for a period of time. So that stock may have legs, because if it's tight to borrow, let's see what it is right now, just out of curiosity. No, you can borrow it now, so keep an eye on it anyway. Generac was good. Moderna was good. CVS knocked the cover off the ball. Just great job there. LTHM, one of the lithium stocks, had good numbers. Maybe it'll lift them. They felt like they were going higher yesterday. I do like the material group, especially if we don't have a hard landing. Okay. Regeneron was good. And that's that. In other news, there was a couple of things in biotech stocks that we saw. Regeneron was up a bunch. ALNY had some positive news. This, what's it called, had positive news. NVTA. These stocks have gotten the crap kicked out of them. And I think if we're not there yet, we're banging on the door of the bottom of these stocks. I think you're going to get some kind of lift in biotech. They've been in the doghouse for too long, and I think that you're going to get lift. There's a lot of stocks trading below cash. Baby's been thrown out with the bathwater, and I am looking for opportunities there. Okay, so that's that. On the short side, we had AMD, Airbnb, MTCH, which is kind of surprising, bumbles down with that one. HZNP, APAM, lumber liquidators, SEDG, that's a shock. Okay, after ENPH knocks the cover off the ball, to see SEDG miss is a surprise to me. Avid missed, Tupperware, Pru. Okay, INFN is doing a $275 million convert, so this stock is going to be under pressure until these guys short enough stock. It looks like they're starting early, and there's a lot for sale. So if you want an exact number, I could do that. Just let me know, and I'll tell you how many exactly are for sale. Okay, so that's that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, what else do we have? Research tonight. Earnings tonight. You got a whole bevy of names: Altice, Apache. I think tonight is the biggest night for earnings as far as the number of companies that are reporting. Apache, Clorox, Elf, eBay, Frog, McKesson, Marathon, Melly, Met, MGM, Revolve, Hub Group, etc. Tomorrow we have Datadog. In the morning, Lilly, Pizza, Para, PH, Kellogg's, Penn Gaming, QSR, Shake Shack, Yeti, Zoetis, AZAC, a lot of names, Cigna, a lot of names, okay? So that's tomorrow. Kathy did nothing, but who cares? There's a couple of syndicate things today. ARQL did 25 million. Let me just make sure I got the symbol right. Yeah, ARQT, 7.5 million at 20. Stock's up a little bit from that. And there's a few more coming this week. BGXX, LPTV, AVNX. These analysts, all they did last night basically is rejigger their targets in the names that came out. AMD, Uber, $70 target over at Morgan Stanley, which is really insane. They like Apple with a 180 target. They like Tesla with 1150 target. But for the most part, these guys are all over the board. Some guys like AMD, some guys don't. Airbnb, these guys, all they do is spreadsheets. 99% of them, that's all they're capable of doing. Plugging in the numbers, going to their spreadsheet and coming out with a target. They don't know shit, okay? The only significant call was the Uber call, if you want to believe the guy. And that's about it. Okay, so I'm out of time. And Spartan, it's all yours, my man.
All righty. Thank you, South Beach guys. Morning. What's going on? How are you all doing? All righty. So let's take a look at what we got going on today, guys. If you're new to chat and have already done so, make sure to click that Discord link that's emailed to you. When you guys do click that Discord link, if you're coming in to Discord and you are in the free server before, you do need to leave the free server before coming in and clicking that link. Otherwise, you will not be assigned the new roles. And that will give you access to all the alert section. So just an important little note in that regard. If you guys are coming in, Discord, this is what it's going to look like. First area to go to, guys, when you do come in, new to chat information, click on that, give it a read. Make sure to go through this thing from top to bottom. We'll go through this, later on when we're discussing, when we do close down the YouTube stream there. So don't worry about that. But just for now, an FYI, just to go through that, read it, give it a quick little look. So you can get better acquainted with how the chat works. All right, pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today, guys? Everything's posted. If you guys are watching the YouTube stream, you can simply just pause it and then give these give the pre-market action plan a read. Right there. Obviously, all the charts are posted. And then on the options side, we have the exact same thing, except we have the options ideas as well associated with those names that we're looking at. All right, let's take a look at everything from the beginning here. So pre-market tickers on watch, what are we looking at today? Tesla, ALNY, PayPal, mRNA, CVS, APDN. Tesla, Elon Musk updates timeline for successful Starship orbital launch, gap it up. ALNY, positive phase 3 data. PayPal, earnings beat, EPS and revs, year-over-year growth 9.1%. Q3 guidance slightly lower, 2022 guidance raised. gapping up. mRNA earnings beat EPS and revs year over growth 9.1%. CVS earnings beat EPS and revs year over growth 11%. 2022 guidance raised, and then APDM gapping up and continued momentum. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two we're looking at, guys, today are Tesla and ALNY. So let's have a look at those. So Tesla flagging on the daily, looks good for continuation. Pivot to the upside today is 811.58, level holds 926.90 to 935.02. Unable to hold 897.16 to 885.09 on the downside will be tested. Overall on Tesla, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side, looking for a continuation push higher today. All right, let's take a look at ALNY. Pivot to the upside today, 212.01 level holds 223.95 to 238.22 will be tested. Unable to hold 197.39 to 184.63 on the downside. Overall on ALNY, going to be leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Just gonna quickly do this. Cool. That's better. All right, let's take a look at the next two, PayPal and mRNA. PayPal, pivot to the upside today, 104. Sorry. Okay, let's see it. 101.67 level holds, 104.82 will be tested. That level breaks. We got room towards 107.98. Unable to hold, we look for pullback towards 99.10 to 96.74 on the downside, leading bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at this mRNA, pivot to the upside today, 169.10. Levels able to hold. We got room for continuation towards 172.55 to 176.55. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback on mRNA into the 165.86 to 160.76 on the downside. Overall, going to be leading bullish neutral there, looking for a continuation push higher. Let's take a look at CVS. Let's take a look at APDN. CVS 98.40 pivot level holds 99.51 to 122 will be tested. Unable to hold 97.67 and 96.36 on the downside. Overall, going to be leading on CVS, bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push higher today. APDN pivot upside 562, level hold 639, 636, 685, unable to hold 5 to 434, leaning bullish out the gate, looking for a push this morning and then a pullback in the afternoon. Let's take a look at the SPY and the Fang here. Market pivot to the upside today. Let's type this up as we do every single time. So SPY. 410.69 pivot to the upside today. This level holds. Room higher into the 412.30 resistance breaks. We see the 413.46 tested. Pivot unable to hold. Room lower into the 408.02 support. Breaks. We see the 406.82 tested. Leaning bullish. Leaning bullish neutral, basically looking for a continuation push out the gate to the upside, and then we can see what's what after that. That's the SPY. Let's take a look at the rest of everything else. I'm just going to post this, there, that, and there. Cool, cool, cool. All righty. Okay, that's all good. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the thing here. Apple. Pivot to the upside today, 160.95 level holds, 162.52. That level breaks, 163.61. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 159.55 of the downside. Overall on Apple, going to be leaning bullish. You're looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Let's take a look at Amazon. Pivot to the upside today, 137.19. Level holds 138.81. Unable to hold 133.42 to 131.70 on the downside will be tested overall on Amazon, leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Let's take a look at Netflix. Pivot to the upside, 223.10 level holds, 226.54 to 228.49 will be tested. Unable to hold 219.63 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral on Netflix as well. Let's take a look at Meta. Pivot 160.29 level holds, 165.18. Unable to hold 157.39 to 154.85 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral there as well. Google pivot 114.91 level holds, 116.93 will be tested. Unable to hold 113.89 to 112.96 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral there as well. VIX Qs and IWM. VIX 23.44 pivot, unable to hold, towards 22.44. Able to hold, we look for a continuation push into the 24 to 24.55 on the upside. Going to be leaning on the, not any direction, actually just using it for direction on the market, as we always do. QQQs, pivot 315.24 level holds, room towards 318.79. That level breaks 312.48 on the downside. And then last but not least, guys, let's take a look at IWM. $187 level holds 188.28 to 189. Unable to hold 185.60 to 184.24. Leaning bullish neutral there. So that's a SPY. That's a Fang. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today, guys. Going to go ahead and close down that YouTube stream. If you guys want to pop into chat, you can go to SpartanTrading.com. You can sign up there. Otherwise, there's a free Discord link in the bio and the description of this video as well. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. We do this every single week.